Hi, my name is Luci, and I'm a social science postdoc in Jornada, working with Brandon Bestel-Mayer. And I am actually I'm a very new staff. I came here last month, so I'm still conceptualizing my research ideas here. But I also don't want to miss the opportunity to just share research and exchange ideas. So I decided to present something from my PhD research, which is a paper that has just published recently. This is a paper I co-authored with professors in Chinese Academy of Agricultural Science and my supervisor and professors in McGill. So a little bit background of me is that I have been, in past 10 years, I've been doing NGO works and research in pastoral regions of China. For my PhD, I mainly focus on the Inner Mongolia region of China, which is northern China, bordering Mongolia. It's a province in China. Mostly local livelihood is dominated by pastoralism and ranching. So just like the state land here in United States, the land in China, rangeland in China, is owned by the state, but the herders, they have about 30 to 50-year in privatized land use rights from the states. So it's like long-term leasing from the states. And the privatization happened since the 1980s, and herders started to fencing their rangeland. And as a byproduct of privatization, rental market, the land renting among herders has become more common right now, which has bring out the research question of, is rented land used more intensively compared to privately owned land, which is a kind of a very classic land economics question. Basically, what it asks is one land tenure more superior than another kind of land tenure in terms of resource conservation? But actually, it's a very hard question to answer because it's hard to link land manager to their land, and also it's hard to record land management over the years. It's just very labor intensive. And when it comes to dry land, it also have another question, is that, as you can see, although the rangeland is fenced, we cannot actually see it from aerial photo because the fence in the Mongolia is so tiny. The fence is about the size of an iPhone charger cord, so you cannot actually see it from aerial photo. Which what I mean is kind of like the Google Map, the aerial photo that you see in Google Map. So, but I find out that rangeland are used at different intensity and different purposes. So there's different spectral differences between grassland that are heavily used or grassland that are used for other purposes. So when I put the satellite image in like near infrared and shortwave infrared band combination, I can actually accentuate the differences between rangeland based on land use intensity. So on the top row of this slide, you can see the satellite image in RGB, like real color combination, and the later one is what I put them in, the same image in near infrared and shortwave infrared. And you can kind of highlight the fences in between. So what I need to do is just I actually converted all the customized satellite image into a form that can be used for tablet computer. So actually I transferred about 500 GB of data and put them into a tablet that I can show the herders, which is kind of, I can carry it to the field and show it to herders. So this is kind of the interface. What I'm showing to herder is that when we arrive at their home, we can examine the map together. So we can identify the parcels that they use and the land use purposes of each parcel. For example, oh, this parcel is rented, this parcel is not. this parcel is used for hay harvesting, while this parcel is used for grazing only. So we can know a lot more details about each land parcel because we are talking with herders individually. So I surveyed 187 of herders in Mongolia and collected data on, actually, we identified 400 parcels that are used by these herders. So there are 3 steps of this study. First is that I identified the land parcels together with herders, and then I talk with the herders individually in their settlement to collect social data. For example, the data on land management, land tenure, and their household characteristics. And then I use Google Earth Engine to extract the climate and topographic data of each land parcel over the past 7 years. And I focus on the date at the end of the growing season. And then using the data combined, I explain the greenness at the end of the growing season of each parcel by the environmental influences and the social data. And by controlling the social data and environmental data, we find out that a parcel is rented a lot has influence on the greenness of the parcel, which means a parcel that is rented is associated with decreasing greenness, which means we call for policy attention on rented parcels, as now rental has become more common across the globe. So this is, forgot to mention, and also, Mongolia is also under a payment for ecosystem services program. So whether a land is rented also has influence on that, because payment for ecosystem services, it's very hard for them to actually incentivize the renters, because the rental contracts are so temporary. They're like 2 years or 3 years, 5 years. So oftentimes it goes to the landowner, which then lost its intention of actually incentivizing the land users. So we also see a conflict between rented land and payment for ecosystem programs there. So this is my one of my PhD study that I have really enjoyed my time surveying, spending time with herders, which also paves what I'm gonna do in Jornada here, because one key limitation of land system science is that there's a lack of theory in guiding some of the social ecological models. So in Jornada here, I still want to keep exploring all the land system science techniques, for example, remote sensing, GIS science, remote tools from resource economics, development geography. But at the same time, I also want to dive deep into the socio-ecological theories and link that to rangeland dynamics and rangeland change trajectories. So if you happen to see any good papers on that, please feel free to share with me. I would appreciate that. Yeah, thank you.